When it comes to being a loving and responsible cat owner, are you making the grade? Are you passing with flying colors, or, from your own admittance, do you have some work to do? In this material, we'll go through a bit of a quality checklist, and you can rank yourself. I'll serve up the pros, and you can assess your personal standing and see if you are meeting the mark when it comes to being a wonderful cat mom or cat dad. What are the signs that make you a success in the eyes of your pet? That's our subject for today. Interesting topic, and I've got you covered. Stay tuned. Now, what does it take to be a proper cat parent? Are there more than 100 ways to make the grade, or does it really all just boil down to a few critical things? Well, in some ways, the answer is yes and yes. Because while you can certainly put your very own flavor on things, your own spin on things, the keys to being a great cat parent, it does come down to the essentials. It's like building a house. It can be unique to you, but it all starts off with that foundation, which is about as common as the day is long. So with our topic of foundation in place, let's now go through a few things on the common checklist that will likely determine whether you are making the grade as a cat owner. First up, let's start with safety. Your cat needs to be in good hands, both literally and figuratively. Your cat needs to be in a safe environment, especially if they reside under your roof 24/7. Felines in the wild, out roaming, feral cat, or just the pet next door that loves to play in the neighborhood, things can happen. Anytime a cat steps outside, there is always some level of risk. However, if your cat stays indoors, the environment needs to be a cat-friendly one, and certainly a safe one. No funny business. Nothing going on that could place your cat in danger. While this should be stating the obvious, sometimes common sense just isn't so common. Unfortunately, animal abuse is a real thing. And for now, I'll just leave it at that. But we all know what time it is when it comes to that subject. At any rate, safety first, because without it, you are destined to fail. It's really just that simple. Piggybacking now on the topic of safety, cat owners that make the grade have a home that is filled with positive stimulation and engagement. Whether we're talking about cuddle sessions, play sessions, food games, you name it, enrichment. It is the key word. The home needs to be a boredom-free zone. Mental and physical stimulation is essential. Now, while this is certainly not to suggest that you need to keep your cat up and active all of the time, what I am suggesting is that your cat should always have some outlet. There should never be a time when your pet is searching for enrichment. They should either have it available to them as a solo effort with their own toys, or have it with you in a hands-on and loving and playful fashion. Positive engagement, that's one part of the winning game plan. Now let's talk more about those essentials. We've covered safety in the most literal sense. Let's talk about fresh food, fresh water, and that all-important clean litter box. Your cat needs all three. What they also need is a proper nesting area, a place they can call their own, a home within your home, a place to rest, a place to nap, just a little retreat, a place to go when they're a bit on edge. Establishing that cat-friendly home is the calling card when it comes to success as a cat parent. Your cat should always be in short walking distance of everything they need. Proper diet, clean water, clean litter box, a sound place to rest and nap. Do this right from day one and you'll be well on your way to success. Now let's turn our attention to that health checklist. Assist your cat with their grooming needs. Remove loose fur and debris that your cat leaves behind. Those hairballs, they can be very tricky. Fur balls are a hazard that you want to avoid. Fur removal combs and gloves can do the trick and keep your pet looking clean and rid them of those problematic elements. Vet visits, regular appointments are essential, if for no other reason than to make sure your cat is in good health and to get out ahead of any health issues that could arise. Checkups are very important. If you personally visit the doctor on a routine basis, your cat, if possible, they need to do the same. And what about getting your cat fixed? Spay or neuter your feline. It's a responsible measure, especially if you do plan on allowing your cat to enjoy the great outdoors a few hours each day. And speaking of the outdoors, another way to improve your marks as a cat parent, get your pet microchipped. Life does happen, and you never know what could happen. Having your cat chipped can be priceless should your pet ever go missing. Your cat's safe recovery right back there with you. That microchip could be the deciding factor. Another check in the win column is the ability to understand your cat's personality. The time and the effort to get to know your pet and recognize their daily behaviors and those all-important tendencies. Those qualities, both common and unique, that can make your cat a one of one. Understanding your cat's baseline can help you immensely, especially if your cat were to fall ill or sustain injury. By knowing your cat, you'll likely be able to notice even the smallest of changes. The ability to recognize when things are just a bit different. It could prove invaluable, especially if your pet enters a bad state of health. Being proactive could be the difference maker. We often hear that patience, it is a virtue, and being a cat owner, well, it will really test that patience. The real winners in the cat parent world are those who exhibit supreme patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. Letting a cooler head prevail is often undefeated when it comes to feline ownership. In order to understand a cat, you pretty much have to think like a cat, and you can't really discipline a feline in the same way you would a small child. Knowing the ropes, knowing what to do and when to do it, knowing not necessarily always what to say, but the tone to say it. When it comes to cat ownership, it often comes down to those little things, especially in those early days. Good cat parents are patient cat parents. And to close things out, if you are indeed patient, you are likely quite loving. You are also likely someone who is looking to build rather than tear down. You realize there's a big difference between having a cat and owning a cat. You're not just in it for the visual, you're in it for the relationship. You're someone who realizes that being a cat owner can only get better if you work to build that bond of love and trust. The very last thing any responsible and loving pet owner wants is a pet that lives right there under their roof that dislikes them. A cat they can't even pet. In order to properly maximize your personal enjoyment and the excitement that comes with being a cat owner, you need to be loving and be available. I spoke of enrichment a bit earlier, which is obviously key, but now I'm speaking about the lived experience, your cat's lived experience. Just something simple. Let's say you're walking from your bedroom to the kitchen, and in passing you simply just acknowledge your cat. You call to them, just say something in their direction and give them a quick pat on the head, and then just move on with your day. Well, that attention, that little nugget, that little bite of attention, you don't have to move a mountain sometimes. You just need to plant that seed. Your cat knows in that moment that you showed up big. Your pet knows that they weren't invisible. Because for all of those big essentials, sometimes what a cat needs the most is simple acknowledgement. In the end, when it comes to emotional comfort, trust, loyalty, it's really all about no days off. Cats hate to be ignored, but if you are showing up each and every day front and center, your cat will know. Big picture, it's all about making those positive associations. Your cat, they won't remember the shirt you were wearing the day they had a cuddle session with you, but your cat will remember how they felt, and they'll associate that good feeling with you. Cat owners, the folks who really hit the grand slams, not only do they meet everything that I've mentioned here today, but they live in the moment with their feline. They are present and attentive. I've mentioned this in a previous video, but show me a good cat, a loving, affectionate, and just a well taken care of feline, and I'll show you a good person. I'd say 9 times out of 10. I think that's more than a fair statement, a fair opinion to hold. Cats, especially if they've been in the same home since kittenhood, in many ways they are a direct reflection of not only their environment, but also the people in charge. Behind every quality cat, there's likely a quality person, and that's no accident. Just like so many things in life, being a top-notch cat owner requires responsibility, patience, dedication, a commitment to the task as a whole, and an overall love and appreciation for the animal, and the knowledge that you are helping to mold and shape the life they'll have, not only in the moment, but years down the line. For your cat, you could be all they'll ever know. So what type of existence, what type of experience do you want them to have? For you, owning a specific cat could be just a mere chapter in your life. But for that precious feline, their time with you, that could be the entire picture of their entire life. To the audience of Senior Cat Wellness, anything you'd like to add to this list, this measuring stick of quality? What does it take, in your opinion, to be a good cat parent? That comment section, it's all yours. And if you enjoyed this content, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a member of the Senior Cat Wellness family. And until next time, thank you so very much for watching, and I will talk to you later.